So I recently did a survey and 46% of you guys are brand new to management and another 22 have less than 2 years of experience. Do you know what this means? This means that there's a high probability that you suck. And this is absolutely fantastic, and I'm going to tell you why. Welcome to the channel Leadership with Mike. On this channel, I help new managers become more confident leaders, and I do that with no nonsense sense, plus a new membership program we'll talk about later, if that makes any sense. Listen, I'm not here to be your rah-rah coach and give you all the motivational speeches that I've heard, but there are two that I think this situation needs you to hear. The first one is from Les Brown, and he says that when life knocks you down, land on your back, because if you can look up, you can get up. And the idea is that if you can just take your lumps, you're going to have failures in this job. It's guaranteed. And it's like 10 times, 1,000 times more guaranteed when you're brand new, of course. But if you can just understand, fall on your back so you can see where you need to go. The next one is from a Michael Jordan commercial, and he talks about all these failures that he's had in his career. And he lists them all. He goes, I've failed thousands of times, and that is why I succeed. See, the idea of failing as a manager, as a leader, especially as you've just been promoted or you've just been, offered a new job, you're guaranteed to fail. And if you think otherwise, either you're way outside your pay grade and you need to be getting a different job, or you're delusional thinking that you're coming in perfect. And I don't fault you. I remember going to this indoor BMX bike park. I mean, I can ride a bike, but I ain't fancy. And I thought, you know what? I can be fancy. I can get on the tracks and I murdered myself. And my wife looks at me and says, but did you really think that you were going to be good? You've never done it. And it was a little bit of an eye-opener because yes, I actually thought I was going to be really good. You may have done this with management. Don't assume you're going to be really good. Give yourself that opportunity to fail, because it's when you fail. Well, let's get into that. First, let's make sure we understand. You're new. It's okay to have failures. And let's take that word failure, and it's not so negative. Like, I feel dirty saying it, like you're a failure. But it's not. It's like, man, you failed. High five. Think about it. When babies are born and they're trying to learn to walk, for the most part, I assume, when they try to walk and they fall down, do their parents say, you suck? You child, how do you not know this already? Or do they get behind that kid and be like, oh, you did it. Oh, fantastic. And now that child feels it's okay to fall. It's okay to fail. Now, I'm sure your staff around, as you've been promoted, I'm sure your staff are clapping every time you fail, right? No, they're not. They're not cheering for you in that manner. And that's the weird part of life, is that we beat down on these failures, but you need them to grow. So we've established, failing is definitely an option. And it's the one that's going to come to you most often. But what do we do with that failure? That is what is going to change the outcome on the grand scheme of things. The first thing you can do is you can try to limit the amount of failures. And one way to do that is by learning from other people. Read books on management. Get as much training as your company offers. And what's that? Oh, your company doesn't invest in you that way, but you are going to invest in you. I've got a way that you can invest in you. This Saturday, November 13th, we are live launching the No Nonsense Leadership Academy. It's a membership program. Link in the description. Read about it. Sign up to be on the wait list. And make sure Saturday, you have no plans at 8 p.m. Eastern. Me and you, we're going to hang out. We're going to talk about a few things. But outside of that, you've made a mistake. First thing I need you to do, I guess that's the second thing, I need you to fix it. If it's something that you can fix right away, fix it. Don't cry about it. Don't cry over spilt milk, as they say. Go and fix it. From there, you want to acknowledge it to yourself. I screwed up. This is how I screwed up. But you also want to acknowledge it to your team. Guys, I screwed up. This was my bad. We should have done this, and I should have, this is how I should have handled this. This is how I should have acted. This is how I should have reacted, whatever it may be. But your team needs to know that when you make a mistake, you're not afraid to acknowledge it. You're not afraid to share it with them. And then that is going to build trust and respect from your team, because one, they're going to say, okay, Mike owned up to this. I just made a mistake. Maybe I should own up to it so we can fix it. Oh, Mike's taking the heat for that. I respect that because not everybody does it. This is where I'm saying you have to fail in order to succeed. You have to suck and then show the world and own it, and then that starts to build you up. It builds your reputation, which is what will help you succeed in the future. Next, learn from it. How did you screw up? How did you fail? I feel like I'm berating you, but I'm not. But you did. You did screw up, or you did fail at something, or something didn't go the way you wanted it to. Now is the time to learn from it. What happened? What should have happened? Think about it. Take time. And that's my fourth thing is that you have to do is you have to take time to understand what's happening and why. What's not happening and why. Management, listen, you can get hired and you are a manager today. Does that mean you know what the hell is going on? No. But you could also pick up Fortnite for the first time. And does that mean you know what's going on in the game? No. You've got to learn it. You've got to figure out the secret up, down, left, right, side, side. Is that still a thing or is that like my old Street Fighter game? Anyway, understand, own the failure because I promise you, 1 year from now, the thing you screwed up, irrelevant. 10 years from now means nothing. But the effect that it's had or will have on creating you as a leader that people want to work with, that they trust, they respect, they listen to, this all comes from getting knocked on your ass at the beginning. So that's what I got. Get your coffee and make sure you get down in the description, click the link, and register to become a member of the No Nonsense Leadership Academy. Put it in your calendar this Saturday, November 13th, 8 p.m. Eastern. You and me, we're going deep.